Alrighty, so this is, I believe, game one of your match that you guys had. And I will be going over it um, with the point of view of your team, less so than any individual players. So I'll be looking at it from a strategy perspective, positioning of your team, your movement as a team, kind of your team coordination, plays, etc. I'll do a little bit of individual coaching, but most of this will be team based. This is the match you guys lost. We'll go over it. All right. So starting into the game, we have D.Va on tank, Symmetra, Soldier, Illari, and Kiriko. D.Va's pretty solid on Lijang. D.Va's just a really solid all-around tank. I know you're comfortable on her as well. Symmetra is strong on Lijang Tower, very common pick. Soldier is always good, nothing much to say about there. Illari is actually a really nice combo with the Soldier, just as the secondary hit scan. Gives you a big ultimate that you can go in with for the supports. Easy to proc with something like Visor, so you could Sun Strike into Visor, that's nice and easy. Illari does a pretty good job of healing D.Va as well. Kiriko, very nice just for flanking, can kind of keep up and move around the map really easy. If D.Va goes around, can, cleanse, get her out of it. Also has a really aggressive ultimate, something that works. Both support ultimates are actually aggressive ults with both of which combo with Visor, so like you're going to have one really strong Visor, but other than that, you're kind of screwed. So I'd maybe consider playing into a more defensive ultimate at some point. So playing one more offensive, one more defensive ultimate. So you could go like, I kind of like the Illari, so you could go like Illari and, let's see, looking at team comp. Something like a Lucio might not actually be too bad. Illari, like, you could even work with like Zen, or yeah, you could work with Lucio or Zen, honestly, in that comp. You could do it with Kiriko as well. You could go Kiriko, Lucio, Kiriko, Zen, Illari, Lucio, Illari, Zen. Just have at least a defensive ultimate. That'd be pretty strong. You could also do it with Ana. You could go Illari, Ana, and then you have like triple hit scan, and you still have good Visor combos, but Nano can at least be used to help save like D.Va or the Symmetra. Okay, let's go. Alright, so coming out of this, they are running nearly an identical comp as you. They have an Orisa and a Moira instead. Alright, so you guys all run a point. I think I'm going to do this differently than I am. You're going to watch from the perspective of the tank. I'll go from there. You guys go up. You go together as a team. Okay, here. Ashton. That TP can be placed way sooner. So TP here can be placed right when you get to this door. It can get placed right here. I think your cursor was actually too far above the window. It can get placed when you're standing here already. So just get that placement down a little more. Sometimes if you look too high, it actually won't go far enough out to your intended location. So yeah, you can do it quite a bit earlier than that. Okay, back to tank. Here we go. You guys all take TP. That looks good. Eric very quickly takes out the Kiriko. You guys take out both supports right away. Very strong. Yep, you guys go into kind of a brawl here that's a little bit mindless. Or at least that's what it looks like to me. Okay. Xander doing a good job recognizing who needed to die. Didn't get it though. Okay, you guys totally could have won that fight. I want to look at this from an outside perspective. Alright, one more. You guys totally could have won that fight. So you guys both TP in. So you guys go here. Eric gets a pick early. Now you just need to stack and you all run at Moira. Good. Moira, now you just pick the next target. Call the next target and you all need to run for that one target. So in this case, you guys get sidetracked and like flanked. Yep. You're like kind of just bandying about, and that Symmetra actually overran you. Now your supports are getting split off from your tank. Yeah, basically what you just have to do there is once you get in, especially if you take out supports, just whoever it is, if it's, you know, maybe if it's the tank or if it's maybe one of the DPS or supports, get somebody to call a next target, and you guys need to converge and clean up quickly. You need to, because you've taken out both supports, you practically have a guaranteed win. So you should just like clean up as quick as you can, so you don't risk even losing that point. Cool. I'm glad you guys aren't like hard pushing into this or kind of poking. You're waiting for TP. I'll take TP. Cool. Something that can help you after you take TP and get into point, pick a side of the pillar. So what can happen is if the enemy team is all on point, you know, they're here, they're kind of around these sides, they're in all these different places. The way you need to approach this is if you're jumping in as a 5-sec, you come through on TP, they're split approximately 50-50. You know, you have 3 over there, 2 over there. Pick a side of this pillar to go on. You know, maybe the side with less of their team. You know, they have only 2 over here. You go through TP, you fall in, you see there's 2 over here. Run this way. Your whole team converges. That's 5v2. Your whole team converges on anybody standing over here. You've now cleared the space. You've taken out 2 of their team. Maybe you lost 1. And now you can all together go around the other side of the pillar and take on the rest of the team. Nice, good job keeping him alive. Eric died early in that. Yeah, do you see how scattered these fights are? They're kind of just all over on these sides, like in, out, all around, up, down. Lijang, especially with this first map, players can get really caught up around the pillar, if you will. So a good rule of thumb is to just try and get to one side of the pillar and work around it as a team rather than being scattered all the way across. So instead of having, you know, multiple players here, running around in, you know, a bunch of ragtag groups, get onto one side, clear one side, and then move around this circle as a unit. And that's going to help you clear out space a lot better. Okay, you guys take TP in. Okay, you guys walk in from bridge, take some damage from the turret. Yeah, you guys are just losing to ults here. Yep. They just did a better job with their ults. Okay. Yeah. Basically, that one boiled down to your execution onto point. So you guys just went to point and you scattered. And you couldn't secure anything. And couldn't, or you were getting picked off separately in different areas. Oopsie. Here we go. Alright, so you went to Orisa this time. Cool. Orisa, Junkrat, Mercy. Yep, I'm glad you stuck with, Symmetra. Symmetra's good on Lijang. Orisa is indeed, I consider Orisa better on this map. Just holds, with the whole map being a little more boxy, it ends up being a little bit more stuck in those choke points, and Orisa does better at that than D.Va does. You guys wait for the TP, good, you go in, you see one, you go for him. Okay, you need to be faster in this. You actually hear their TP, you know Symmetra is good on this map. You know this is a very common one. You guys go up, you can immediately see that you are the first ones here. You can see you're the first ones here. Oh, go there. Okay, you can see the first ones here. So you drop in, cool. There is an audio cue. So for the most part, Soldier is the only one you're looking at. Cool. The instant you hear that audio cue, actually, even before, you know that Symmetra works on this map. You know that she TPs up into window. If you go through on this window, you should, out of habit, unless you see otherwise, out of habit, you should look up at that window. So Xander, you ended up being a bit late to that turn. You could actually like spear. So as soon as you hear that TP, you turn, look up there and spear, and you displace them from getting their engage. Because holding on point and holding this choke right here is really strong. It's really hard to push through this doorway, or I suppose either of these doorways, into the entirety of this choke. So you guys got here first. You look up to this TP, you know it's going to come, or you know it's probably going to come. You throw as much as you can at it to displace them and push them back, and then you just hold them at this doorway. Cool. You do push up on their team, and you get them pushed out into that area. Good. That's good. Now you can hold this doorway. This doorway is a lot easier to hold than other things. Your Mercy gets picked early. That did not need to happen. Okay. So yeah, what I'm seeing for the most part is basically just being scattered. Go back a few seconds. So you have Soldier over there who's poking your Junkrat. Cool. If you just play around a corner a little bit, you'll be fine. You won't die to the Soldier. You can spam a couple shots toward him. You'll be fine. As Mercy, play up in the air. Use your Guardian Angel and press Control, like your crouch button, and just go up in the air. Float in the air more, especially when you're in here. It just gives you, like, just sit up in the air. You don't need to be on the ground. Cool, you get the res. You have Guardian Angel. Or you maybe should have. Did you use it already? Let's find out. So you Guardian Angel once. Do you do it again right here? Okay, so you Guardian Angel in order to res. I will assume that you don't have Guardian Angel. Cool. You guys do take out Symmetra. Soldier and Moira come in. Cool. You guys pick them off. That's good. Their team was split. They die for it. Nice. Cool. You lost a couple in the process that you didn't need to. Brennan, when you're on Junkrat, instead of standing in this doorway, you could move back a little bit and spam that choke, and you don't have fear of Soldier, or you could, you know, poke at the Soldier if you want. And then Logan, when you're on Mercy, you go for the res, and then, I mean, maybe just keep an eye out for res. Like, when you go for a res, just watch what might threaten you. Okay, you guys know they're coming in from over there. You take out turrets. Good. Their team is split. You need to make a decision on what you're going to go for, because if you leave them, they will converge on you. You will probably die. So you've got one or two coming from the front, and the rest of the team coming over from the side. Cool. So you guys poke at them. Xander, you need to always... so if they do have a couple of flankers, if you have to decide between the flankers and the main enemy team, you need to deal with the main enemy team, because you're the only one that can hold them off. Here, oh my goodness. Fortify so you don't get displaced, and then just spear them. And javelin, and then just spin and push them off this ledge. That's the a great way to get some off the map elims. Good. Okay, you did javelin the Orisa. You probably could have done your spin and pushed all three of them off. Just an idea. Okay, they rotate toward main. You guys look toward main as well. That's good. Yep, you're just poking. Cool. This is what you do. You just need to hold point. You don't have to push up on them. Like, you could make a play if you want to, but you don't have to. Okay, so that's yours. So you popping that means you want to be aggressive. Or, oh goodness, that's a lot of ults. Or it at least means you're anticipating ultimates for them. So you guys run in. That's Kitsune, Wall, and... whatever the Orisa ult is called. Cool. You secure one on Symmetra. That's really good. Symmetra is one of their stronger characters here. Nice, Brennan. You find a pick on their Kiriko. You guys have won this fight. Cool. you already were up 2. You've already used 3 ultimates. Using the 4th is not usually a great idea. You've already won the fight. Don't use more ultimates. You guys should just be able to push in this as a unit and take them out. So if one of you made the call and you followed it up together, there's a high chance that you're able to push into that. Cool. Brennan, you go down. You did find somebody on your way out. Gets the res off. Cool. Okay. You managed to secure that one, it looks like. Yep, you played that one nicer. You held them off pretty nicely. Overcommitting to fights. Just be careful about that. So overcommitting ultimates to fights. And then if you do get a secure couple picks, don't be, as long as you're together, don't be afraid to push in and clean up that fight together. Call a target, run after them. Okay. Let's see. So third point, Lijang. You guys are running Zarya this time. I like Zarya. 5, 4. Yeah, we'll let it play here.
3, 2, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
I like Zarya here. This map does pretty well. Let's see, you double hit scan at this point. Brennan. Not Brennan. Yeah, Brennan. You died for whatever reason, I'm not sure. Okay, you guys all push through here. You're poking, you're healing. Cool. Logan, when you're on Mercy, you need to be really cautious about where you walk. You've now died a couple times due to bad position. You really need to stick behind your team and be aware of where the enemy team is. You need a Guardian Angel and kind of just get out of there. Okay. They pick you off. Yep, they just pick you off one by one. We're going to go over that one more time. Cool. So see what happens here? Your support gets split off. You've got the 3 over here. They push on you. That's, 4v3. They take out another support. They take out your tank. And then that leaves you. And you're just so split here. You're not going to be able to do anything about it. Okay. So Brennan, you duel the soldier and win. Nice job. Now the rest of you are pushing in. Brennan, you just, I want to see this from your point of view. You just secured a really good duel win. Okay, so you secure the win in this duel. You are basically full HP, and if your team's calming, you'll know that they're going in. Okay, so it sounds like you were waiting for them. Okay, so you were waiting. Okay, nice job. Okay, you drop and just walk with your team since the diva goes up after you. That's good. The diva going up after you gave your team actually straight access to their backline. That was good. Eric goes down early. Yeah. Okay. You found their backline, except they also found your backline. Moving out as a unit is really difficult, but I think I think it's the last thing you guys need to not be dying randomly, and to also help you secure kills more. That seems to be the usual cause of death, is not that one of you is like playing in a super bad spot or that they're like running over you. It's that you like play a little bit, you don't move with your team in the same way, and then one of their DPS just walks on you and that's it. Okay, you pop an ult. 1 second. Got a bit of a cough and I have to mute in order to cough. So, you guys have some ultimates that you are dumping in here. That was not a good trade. Let's go from your point of view. I'm gonna back up a little bit. So you push into this, you see somebody vulnerable, so you go. Cool. You bubble. You get decent charge. You're at high charge, you land. You have that grab available. Cool. Okay. Two things. One, if you grab, it's great to have one of your teammates follow up with an ultimate. So that means, Ashton, you have overclock ready. And you can see that. Do you pop it? Pop overclock. Pop overclock and just hammer those right clicks straight into that grav. You'll very likely blow up somebody. Okay. And Xander. Zarya tip. If you land a grav, especially if you land a grav of 3 people or more, right click. Right click into this. Don't even bother using left click. Right click into this. You're going to do so much splash damage. They need to have about 3 people. If it's only 1 or 2, then you can left click and beam down a single target. But if you have this many people, right click into this and you'll get a ton of damage. Cool. You could have had a couple of right clicks out by this point. I know high charge is really tempting to just try and beam somebody down. Right click, you'll get so much damage. Cool. You were low HP. You walked up too far. There's a sim wall. You should have backed up. You got your kill. You taking out Lucio stunts their push quite a bit. Walk out. Keep your life. Cool. They push up on you. Logan, you managed to... Okay. Scratch that. Logan, you don't live. Okay. Yeah, Logan, you're getting a bit far with some of these Guardian Angels. You just pay attention to where you're walking. Play with, like, your Sojourn. You can play with your Sojourn. It's a much more safe position. As Mercy, there's most of the time you probably shouldn't be playing with your tank. Or not directly with your tank. You'll be wanting to pocket a DPS, so your Soldier or your Sojourn, somebody who's further back. Damage buff them, keep them alive, and then maybe go into res somebody if you need to. Cool. Nice. Good bubbles. Good job finding cover. I'm very glad you guys didn't die to that. Okay. I want to see why. So what happens here? We're going to look at this a little slower. So they throw in bomb. So you guys are holding this ground, but the soldier runs into the side and catches you all off guard. Takes it. Okay. It looks like at least Logan saw, but Ashton, if you're able to make a call. So I know that's really, really fast to happen, but if you can ever make a call, if you ever see somebody behind like that, and you can make a call to your team, they can turn around and they can blow that person up, take them out quickly. Eric, you are pushed up 1v3. Good luck. 1v4. Good luck. Okay, you have to get bubbled. Xander would usually rather use bubbles in a more aggressive manner and not have to save you. So just be careful about where you walk. I know you can walk up and TP back, but it's not a great idea. Alright, you're... Logan, do you make it out? Okay. Visor is kind of just the counter to Valkyrie. I'll let that one slide. That one's fine. Cool. Eric makes it out. Nice job. Xander, very good job going for that soldier because, I mean, he can't really do anything to you. Good job going for him. Eric's pocketing you as hard as he can, but unless you have good bubbles here, unless you have good bubble usage, you will not survive this. Cool. You're getting a good bit of damage in. Cool. You did a good job burning that down. Brennan, nice job finding an off angle on that team fight. Okay, do you guys... So right here is where you've taken out a couple of theirs. You go for... pick a target and go for them. Either... excuse me. Goodness. Either walk on their team as a unit, or in this case, which is probably the better option, is go take care of that soldier. Get him pushed out. The Sim, the Lucio, and the Baby Diva are not going to be able to do that much to you. The soldier's more of a threat on this off angle. Cool. Ashton, you go to help with the soldier. Awesome. Xander, you throw another graph. Right click. There's 3 people in here. You right click into this. Yep.
I've got you in my sights.
Cool. We'll speed this back up. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So if you're on support, be careful about not pushing in front of your team. Logan and Eric, don't push out in front of your tank whenever possible. And also, you're going to have to really be careful to not get left behind. So DPS, I've noticed this from you guys, Ashton and Brennan, don't get left behind. They've done a good job of picking you guys off if you're separate. If you're aware of that fact, so if you realize that, hey, you know, I died, I was like in a random location, they just kind of picked me off. If you can ever recognize that fact, play with your team. Play closer to your team if you recognize the fact that you're getting picked off separately. Okay, I want to look at that again. Okay, so they all push up through main. Cool. Throw in light clicks. Good. They throw a sim wall and a beat. They're going to hard push into this. You guys need to back off. In one form or another, you need to back off. Because what happens here... Cool. So your main team gets pushed. Your DPS gets picked by the Orisa that just walked around the side. Kiriko gets picked. Like you just tried to stand too hard against multiple ultimates. Back off there, retake. Yep, and then there's an Orisa just on your backline. And then they clean you up one by one. So when they push in that hard, you oftentimes are not going to be able to space that one-on-one. You just need to back around a corner, get somewhere, and then retake right after. Because they burnt both of their defensive ultimates right away. So you can oftentimes hop in right after. Otherwise, not too bad. It looked like you were all playing well. You guys were all playing mechanically well. Your compositions were very good. I liked your compositions. Yeah, I liked your compositions. You can maybe work on a couple of ultimate combos. So if you have Grav, use Overclock. If you have Kitsune Rush, use Visor. If you have... gosh, I don't even know. If you have Sunstruck, use... or the Illari Ultimate, you can use Visor. You know, things like that. Tire plus Grav. Things like that. Use some, maybe find an ultimate combo or two. Be aware of what you can do. And then play as a unit. That's going to be a really, really hard thing to practice. But that's usually what happens is the scattering is what caused you to die or not be able to secure any space. So, yeah. I don't know if I had too much to say on that one. Like, really. But you guys did pretty well. Good job with your team comps. I didn't pay too much attention to any mechanics or anything like that. But nice job. And then you guys did go on to win the rest of the games. So good. I haven't seen them, but it seems you did adapt. So very well done.